VCU coming in after a loss to St. Louis on Wednesday night, 71-62. St. Louis, a fabulous team this year. Really, the team that you'd have to think maybe one of these two teams will have to go through to get to the NCAA tournament and win the A-10.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that St. Louis game was so impressive. They're scoring a ton of points, and their defense is elite, similar to this VCU team here. And Robbie Avila is the best passing and shooting center in the country for St. Louis. So these two teams, they want to keep themselves on top of the A-10 standings along with St. Louis.
We are underway from Eagle Bank Arena in Fairfax, Virginia. 72nd meeting all time between these two programs.
George Mason wants to do a lot of work in the half-court offense. VCU wants to push more.
Riley Allenspach misses to open up matters on offense for George Mason. Keyshawn Mitchell fumbling the ball in the lane, and a turnover committed. The Patriots on the move.
And you see what VCU does. Whoever gets the rebound is going to push it themselves. They don't outlet it.
Right back to Allenspach, puts it in.
He was a big-time recruit out of high school in North Carolina. He was a 7th-ranked recruit, and he's been on a roll here for George Mason. Great lefty jump hook.
Evans driving, banks it in, plus the foul. What a move by Barry Evans. The Baltimore native will go to the line to try to clean up the three-point play.
He started his career at St. Bonaventure, and then he went to Bryant last season. He joined Phil Martelli at VCU this year. Look at the push-through for the lefty with the right-handed finish high off the glass. Now, both of these teams are great and are elite at getting to the free throw line and using that free throw line as a weapon.
Evans, who struggles from the free throw line, misses. It goes back over to George Mason. Evans shoots 56% from the year on the line, but no, as you said, these teams frequent visitors to the free throw line.
Yeah, without a doubt, and he's a prototypical VCU point center where he gets out off the glass and he can push it himself.
Troutman. Now Mincy going to work against Brandon Jennings. Turnaround shot up a little short from Mincy, and the rebound collected by Evans and VCU. And another turnover.
Brandon Jennings with a little bit of height over Corey Mincy.
Long, looked like tried to go in a Euro there, and he got fouled in the process.
A great attack by Jahari Long. 3 20-point games this season. He had 7 assists and no turnovers last time out against Fordham. And spending some time with Coach Skin yesterday, he wants his guys to do what they do, play with poise, do what they do well, and not do anything extra just because VCU's in the building.
Jadrian Tracy charged with a foul. That's his first. Two all early on. As Long finds Allenspach. Shot clock to 10 for the Patriots. Troutman will pop, misses the three. Jennings with the board.
But it's good offense, good kick by Riley Allenspach.
And a foul as Jennings trying to make his way seemingly towards the lane. And that'll be picked up by Corey Mincy. That'll be his first.
VCU is just relentless in the way that they push it. 5 guys can dribble. They test you once. They swing it. They test you again. And George Mason's going to have to defend for the whole 30 seconds if they are able to stop the VCU fast break.
Nick Lewis into the corner. 3-ball up. That catches the side of the backboard from Tracy. A run out for the Patriots. Troutman all the way in for the layup. And one for Masai Troutman. The Northeastern transfer gets the crowd on its feet early on.
And that's how you run a fast break for Masai Troutman. The defender never commits to him. So instead of dishing it off, he goes all the way to the cup, up and over Nick Lewis. And one, a super strong finish.
Troutman had an injury-riddled season with Northeastern a year ago, as he cleans up the three-point play, giving George Mason a 5-2 advantage early on. Mitchell drops it right back off to Evans. Mitchell will try it from deep. Got it. Keyshawn Mitchell planting the three to even things up.
At 6'11", that's going to be a big shot to drag Riley Allensbach out from the paint.
He's not a great three-point shooter, shooting just 21% on the year. The double at Allensbach. Gets position and then barrels through Brandon Jennings for a bucket.
He's really aggressive down there in the post against Fordham. He went to work in the second half, 17 second half points against Fordham.
Mitchell missed the three and a loose ball foul coming up. It'll be against VCU.
And George Mason's got to stay disciplined here, knowing VCU wants to drive it even though he hit the three the last time down.
Lazar Djokovic is into the game for VCU, and he is one of the big names to watch in this game, as Mitchell will get a breather.
Yeah, Djokovic inside-outside threat at 6'11". He can throw it down. He can shoot the three.
Both teams shooting 50% so far to start out this game from the field. 7-5 lead for the Patriots. VCU has had a lot of success in this building in particular. They've won 7 straight here in Eagle Bank Arena. Turnover. And then Allensbach commits the foul, moving back down the floor as he knocked down Nick Lewis.
George Mason's trying to get a switch so they can get Riley Allensbach the ball down low, and it was a great dig by Nick Lewis, who came over and made the steal. But that's where George Mason's going to have an advantage, is jamming it down their throats to Riley Allensbach. So when he caught that thing, he's got to keep it a little bit higher and catch it stronger. And how about Tony Skinn with the skinny tie, man? Looking good, looking sharp, fresh haircut.
Okay, so we know he got that haircut yesterday. He drove to Washington, D.C. to get that fresh cut. He knows he's going to be on TV.
And he is big time here, obviously part of the Final Four team in 06 here at George Mason. And he's got them off to that 15-1 start.
The three missed by Hill, and the offensive rebound collected by VCU. Djokovic lost it for a moment. Jennings, contested shot. Troutman had it for a moment, got knocked away. Lewis, he can't get the three. Rebound finally pulled down by Emmanuel Conga. And now the Patriots will settle things.
The VCU early on is just getting every loose ball, every offensive rebound. George Mason's got to hold them to one and done if they want to win here today.
Under 10 to shoot for Long, misses the jumper. And the rebound ripped down by Evans. VCU has missed on their last 5 shots. Jennings tries to end the streak, he cannot. Djokovic kicks it back outside. Jennings cuts in, floater up, that trickles in. Brandon Jennings gets the bucket to even it up at 7.
There's a great kick out by Lazar Djokovic. He got the offensive rebound. He got it right out so he could take the middle with the drive.
Jennings out of Richmond, Virginia. One of the stabilizing forces in this lineup for the Rams. Fat Hill into the game for George Mason. Long trying to cook. Presley lost the handle. Jennings outside. Djokovic now goes into his move, lays it up and in. Lazar Djokovic, tough move inside.
Yeah, and that's all George Mason worked on in the shoot-around yesterday, was forcing him left. And the second time he gets it, he drives right and gets a layup.
And a travel on the other end ushers us into our first stop in the contest.
Yeah, a ton of great teams, and obviously the story of the season so far has been Cam Boozer. He's been unbelievable, and he was huge this week against Louisville, 27-8 in a big win on the road. Now, I got to see Arizona live, Derek, because of our wonderful production management team. And Tanya Aline hooked me up with tickets against Alabama. They were tied, and Arizona went on a 12-0 run in about 1 minute. So them and the way Michigan's just been beating down everybody by 20, 30, and 40. They have to be favorites for the Final Four.
Oh, I would agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, Michigan has been phenomenal so far. An excellent slate of college basketball games on the way, of course, with Arizona heading things up later on. Lewis, short on the three, collected by Mincy.
Right there, that was the best defensive stand so far by George Mason. They packed it in, and they held him to one and done.
Both teams trying to find their sea legs a little bit offensively now as Hill driving. He can't finish the layup. The putback is no good. The rip away, and let's see. It will be a jump ball. The possession arrow will work in favor of VCU.
Now, Phil Martelli Jr. Thought it was a foul. I think it was just a quick trigger on the jump. I thought he just ripped it away. That could have been a layup.
Slow start from three for VCU. They're 1 of 7 from downtown. To begin matters, a team averaging 9 made threes per game, shooting 36% on the year. Hill inside to Djokovic, and he misses.
They just got to be a little bit stronger inside here on the road. 2 catches now where he just didn't kind of chin it.
Long. Into the paint with the pass. Going up was Ellington. He could not get it. Another jump ball, and this time George Mason will get the better of the call.
Emmanuel Conga, he gets it in the post. He's looking for a double. Nobody doubles. He's got to go. And then the same thing with Nick Ellington got it. He's looking out. VCU's not digging. They're not doubling. Now, if you're a big man for George Mason, you got to go eat.
Shot clock under 10, down to 5. The jumper is up and in. Corey Mincy gets the bucket, teaming it up at 9 apiece.
He's their leader. He's their best player, leading the league in scoring.
Loose, and the Rams able to maintain possession. And that's a travel. Pulled out the rocking chair there down low. Back to the Patriots. 3rd turnover committed by the Rams.
They're right there, even though he made the mistake. You see how VCU just tests you. Every guy who gets it tries to drive it in there.
Phil Martelli Jr. in his first year with VCU after the wildly successful season with Bryant, where they reached the NCAA tournament. Hill, nearly stolen. Mincy kept it alive. 5 to shoot, 3 ball up. That's no good. Lewis rips down the rebound for VCU.
VCU fortunate they had 5 on 4 because he went for the steal.
Hill pulls and connects.
47% from downtown. You got to pick him up at the NBA three-point line, not at the college one. That was easy money for Terrence Hill Jr.
And back the other way. An illegal screen set by the Patriots. And a 3-point lead for VCU.
When you got to watch Notre Dame's Hannah Hidalgo, 25 points a game. But how about she averages 6 steals a game? I mean, that is sensational.
Perhaps a future hooper there. We just saw at the top there with that dunk.
Oh, the next page, Becker's right there. Big time elevation on the Fisher-Price.
Djokovic leaning in and scoring. He is so long and athletic, able to get to places pretty quickly.
Yeah, and the help needs to be there a little bit quicker. They have the cleared out ball screen on the right side, and the help was just a little bit late.
Mincy. Tough shot, missed it. Alan Spock with the offensive rebound. Troutman with an open lane. The feed inside, that's missed. And the rebound collected by VCU. Stosh Sipka could not finish it off.
Yeah, he's frustrated. That was an easy one and a great pass.
Hill to the rim, contested the follow, that misses. Sivka with the board.
5 on 4, they won it.
Good feed inside to Troutman, takes a dribble, lays it in.
Nice, great play. And a great look away pass. He could have hit the three-pointer on the wing, but instead the backdoor cut.
Ahmad Noel in the mix for VCU, and a foul away from the basketball. It'll be against George Mason.
Yeah, just a little bit of a back screen chin action, and then they're bringing Terrence Hill back off the down screen. So that's okay. I mean, if you're Tony Skidden, you'd rather see him get chased hard and give up one of those fouls and give up the three-point shot.
Foul charge to Long, that's his first. Tracy with the pump fake, the drive, the layup is no good. Coach Skinn talked about those pump fakes to his defense yesterday, telling them to be careful as Alan Spock works quickly back down the floor for two.
An easy one. George Mason doesn't want to play as much at the fast break as VCU, but they'll take easy ones. And J. James Tracy needs to hunt his three-point shots. He's our other great shooter from downtown.
Djokovic and Alan Spock, good matchup. Djokovic missed it, but wins the battle because he'll go to the line. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't love it right there. So, you know Djokovic wants to go over the left shoulder with the right hand, and it was a good job of Riley Allensbach sitting on that. Look, he's forcing him. He's saying, go left, go left. He's giving him an invitation, and then he backs away from him. And you see, even when he went left, he went back to his right hand. So it's frustrating as a big. You're following the scatter report, you're all over it, and you get that little bailout call.
And that's 2 fouls on Alan Spock. He'll go to the bench. So really frustrating because of A, that play, and B, that's his second foul as he heads out. 2 from Djokovic. Djokovic will head to the bench. Mitchell back in. As VCU resets, leading it by 3. This has been a George Mason team that has been so good this season. Well, everywhere, especially here at home. They've won 11 straight games here to open up this season. Mency. Shot clock down to 7 for Long. Into the corner. Sivka. Can't quite get the bounce, but what a follow there by Masai Troutman.
And how about the interminable bounce? I mean, it hung up there forever. Luckily, Troutman can fly, and he got that easy put in.
Under 9 minutes left to go, first half. 1-point game. Noel is called for a carry. There was some contact there as well, but the carry came first.
And Ahmad Noel, the UConn transfer, he was trying to get that call with the arm extended, and they got him with carrying the basketball with his left hand.
4th turnover committed.
You don't see that call very often anymore.
No.
I mean, guys have the hand under the ball. They're running 4 or 5 steps.
Especially because, I mean, you see it. You see players do it a lot, and it goes unchecked by the officials. So when it's called, it's odd. Long going at Noel. Long to the rack. He gets stuffed by Noel. Hill. The kick outside. Noel. High arcing 3. That's good. One end-to-end basketball by Ahmad Noel.
And that's VCU basketball to block. And then Terrence Hill Jr. picks it up, pushes it deep, and gets Noel the wide open 3.
And a whistle here. This will be a foul against VCU.
And not a lot of fouls early for 2 teams that do a great job getting to the free throw line. George Mason is number 2 in the country in free throw rate. And we just have not seen them getting fouled, especially deep next to the cup.
That's the first on Noel. Mency trying to get going here. Good defense by Jennings.
Yeah, Jennings has great length, and it's bothered Mincy early.
Now against Mitchell. Mincy hits. Corey Mincy, the A-10's leading scorer, knocks down a three.
He got Keyshawn Mitchell in space, and he knew how to get to the open side.
Hill on the other end.
You can't catch your breath against VCU. You can't sleep. They're going to come right back at you.
Troutman lines it up and knocks it down. Masai Troutman having a good first half here, evens it up at 21.
Yeah, Mincy set it up with the deep drive.
Evans gets bumped. And that'll be a foul in favor of Barry Evans of VCU as we head to a stop, 21 all. Excellent back and forth here between these two teams.
You need to get a paint touch to get an open three right there. Corey Mincy kicks it out. Masai Troutman, bottom, tie game.
Dandruff-causing microbes are on everyone's scalp. Hey, where do you think you're going? When you use Head & Shoulders every wash, its active ingredient keeps them at bay.
It's go time.
Watch out! This is it, microbe. There's nowhere left for you to go.
Except down the drain.
Tackle dandruff every wash.
Do you suffer in pain? Are you stiff, tense, or less active than before? Introducing the EasyWell Remedy Massage System that combines the incredible effects of vibrational therapy, targeted deep tissue shiatsu massage, plus soothing infrared heat. A triple fusion of therapeutic experiences. Full body vibrational therapy increases blood circulation and reduces inflammation. Look at these beads moving from the powerful vibrational motors.
It's like 1,000 little fingers just vibrating my body from head to toe.
Infrared heat penetrates deep to reduce pain, soothe, and relax.
Remedy gets in there and helps deal with the source of the pain, so you feel much better.
The Ultra Shiatsu pillow with 6 infrared heated nodes mimics a professional massage. Plus, it's detachable for deep relief anywhere you need it.
It's just something that you're gonna have to feel for yourself.
Experience the true remedy for your pain and stiffness. Call now.
A Classico Super Cup final.
Spain's giants collide. Glory awaits.
Wow! How about that?
The Supercopa de España final, Sunday on ABC.
Introducing Chipotle's new high-protein menu with real chicken, grilled fresh, no antibiotics, no fillers, ever. Starting at $3.50, packed with protein, Chipotle's new high-protein menu is real protein you want to eat. Chipotle, for real.
Fill your potatoes? Oh yes. Fill your eggs and pasta? Hello, creaminess. Philadelphia, a creamy touch of magic.
When you have Fios 1 gig internet, your day begins at full speed. There's video calling, temp controlling, uploading. Oh, and someone's at the door. Power your home and all your devices all at once. Plus, now you choose what goes into your plan with My Home. Get the speed you need and save on entertainment you love, like Netflix and HBO Max for just $10 a month. Upgrade your home to Fios 1 gig today. Visit Verizon.com/myverizon.
Sounds is safe. We get their quarterback, we protect ours. Where else would you rather be? They're right here.
NFL playoffs begin today, and then of course it's capped by Texans-Steelers on Monday night. Here we've got a pretty physical contest as well, 21 all. Neither team getting to the free throw line a lot.
Yeah, and VCU averages 26 attempts a game. George Mason makes 20 free throws a game. They score 25% of their points from the free throw line. So both teams, you're seeing what league play is. You know the opponent, they're playing smart, they're playing the scouting report, and that's leading to kind of the clean game with not a lot of fouls.
To the post for Troutman in the lane. And that will lead to a foul against VCU. VCU has not fouled much in this game. That's just their 4th team foul in this half. as Noel will head off after having picked up his second foul.
And we've seen a big part of the George Mason offense has been those duck-ins and trying to jam it down low in the post. And right there as they tried to roll it in, it was just too much physicality by Ahmad Noel.
That pass intercepted, intended
for
Troutman. Evans
gets
fouled and lands hard on the floor. It looked like Evans was going to have an easy dunk, but instead the closeout at the last second. And that was a physical foul by Conga.
Yeah, right here. Barry Evans can fly. The lefty went for the right-handed jam. And they are going to look at this. That was definitely a dangerous shot block attempt.
Possible flagrant foul.
But we're going to see if this is possibly a flagrant 1 or a flagrant 2.
Conga tracked him down. And then got him right underneath the arm.
Now, do we think that was unnecessary and excessive contact? I don't think so. I think it's going to be a flagrant 1 just because he was in the air. Now, he's attempting, and he actually doesn't hit him in the head. So it was an ugly play. It would surprise me if this was a flagrant 2. It'll probably be a common foul or a flagrant 1. But, you know, back in the day, that was just a common foul. I mean, he's trying to dunk it. You're trying to hit the ball. He didn't hit him in the head.
Our officiating crew today, Rob Riley, Tony Crisp, and Ron Tyberski.
I don't think that was unnecessary and excessive. It's an ugly feeling. First of all, I never was that high in my life. But it's an ugly feeling when Barry Evans can fly, and he's had a ton of dunks this year. When he's soaring and he's falling back on his backside, it's an ugly look. We're going to get an explanation here now from our official.
It is called a common foul, so it'll just be 2 shots.
Yeah, and that can always be dangerous when you're soaring up there and you can fall awkwardly. But it looks like Barry Evans is okay. I mean, against St. Bonaventure, he had about 3 dunks in the first 4 minutes. He can really get up there. And you love that he went to attack the rim.
So Evans will get 2 free throws here from the stripe. And this is one of the interesting dynamics of the transfer portal as Evans misses the first. So Phil Martelli Jr. comes in from Bryant. And of course, when you see coaches go from place A to place B, a lot of times players will follow them.
Yeah.
And that's the case here with Evans.
Yeah, and he had a bigger statistical year at Bryant with Phil Martelli Jr., but he wants him to be even more confident. I mean, he's a very humble player, and he's trying to convince him, like, hey, you're a great player. And he is so versatile at 6'8", 6'9". He can bring it up, he can jump, he can pass the basketball. He's their best passer.
Evans, after missing his first 3 free throws, gets that one to give VCU the lead, but a steal. Evans leaning in, missed it. Djokovic with the follow, and a foul against George Mason, to the dismay of the crowd here at Eagle Bank Arena, as Djokovic will go to the line.
Now, listen, you could have got this steal. I mean, they threw it right to him. And then right here, head up. Good play. Nobody commits to him. Barry Evans takes it in. And Lazar Djokovic got fouled. I mean, they're not happy here. That was an easy call, and he got fouled.
Djokovic transferring and improving along throughout his career. Xavier, Charleston, and now VCU coming off of a double-double against St. Louis.
And Coach Martelli told us that he's been much better at pushing through adversity, pushing through the tough spots. He's an incredibly talented player, and his size and versatility brings another dynamic to their team.
3-point lead for the Rams. Defensive pressure here from VCU. And Fat Hill was fouled.
It was Nick Lewis. Didn't love the call, but when you're the trapper, you don't want to go for the ball. You want to put your hands up and get the deflection that leads your teammate to get the steal and take it out on the break.
Hill back in. Lewis will get a rest. Approaching 6.5 minutes left to go in this first half. Derek Jones and Noah Savage with you from Fairfax, Virginia. A big-time matchup between two A10 heavyweights. As a pass dumped down and the layup in for Conga.
Back Lizzie Hill with a beautiful post feed, threaded the needle.
Yes, his name, or his nickname, I should say, is Fat.
Oh.
And a turnover here committed by VCU.
Yeah, right there, I thought he had a clean step through. You're allowed to lift the pivot foot. You just can't replace it. I did not think that was a travel. I thought it was a good move.
Fat Hill brings it down. So Hill nicknamed Fat because, well, as a baby, he was a little bit on the plump side.
Yeah, same.
What a swat down low. Djokovic starts it up on the other end. Belly inside, lays it in.
Yeah, really gorgeous step through maneuver and then finish with the left hand.
3-point lead for VCU, 5.5 remaining here. First half action. Hill. Now Mincy going to work. Mincy floating away, gets it to drop.
Yeah, really forced issue there. Got a paint touch. Excellent jump stop right in the A10 logo and able to drop it in. George Mason tries to move the defense, couple of swings, and then they get into their sets, so it's really apparent where the help is coming from.
Hill, step back, got it. Terrence Hill Jr. puts the lead back to 3.
Yeah, tough shot, and that's one that George Mason will live with just because it was a long contested 2.
The drop off for Troutman. Troutman slips, able to feed the pass inside, and Dola Adebayo with a bucket.
Yeah, big time hang time by Dola Adebayo, who had a big dunk against Fordham off a lob as well.
Hill delivers one more time and tells the crowd to settle down.
So the previous possession to step back 2, contested. That time an easy walk into 3. Nobody showed on the pick and roll.
Balanced scoring thus far from VCU. 7 different players have scored.
Love to see Mincy get a touch if you're George Mason here.
Hill to the rack and one for Fat Hill.
$10 points a game, and right there a great push through on the drive. He got the initial contact, and he didn't let it stop him. As Hill, watch when he gets down in the paint. His last step is long and strong. Right here, boom, big time step, and gets all the way to the right side for the layup.
George Mason has hit on 6 of their last 7 now from the field after that foul applied to Hill. On the side of VCU, that was Hill's first. The 3-point play finished off. 1-point game, VCU up.
Little zone look here from George Mason.
Jennings. Now Belay. In trouble, floats it up and in with the right hand.
That's a new Jalen Brunson style post you see so often in college basketball now. The pivot, pivot, pivot. Till he found a look.
Troutman stops, cut off for a moment, and he is fouled. Three-point advantage for VCU as the action heating up. Last March, these two squads met in the A10 conference title game. Max Shulga of VCU hit a 3 to put the Rams up by 4 late. Then Jalen Haynes of George Mason with an and one with 39 seconds left to bring them within 3. But in the end, George Mason, Zach Anderson got a look at a 3 with 4 seconds left to go. He misses, and it's VCU who ends up winning the A10 championship and going to the NCAA tournament. where they fell to BYU. A lot of history between these two programs, Noah, and look, Tony Skinn wears this rivalry as a head coach, but also as a former player.
Yeah, without a doubt, and his message to his team was poised under pressure and doing what they do, not to get rattled or into the VCU game. And when you think about the A-10 this year, so many exciting teams we've already highlighted. These two will definitely be in the mix for an A-10 championship, along with St. Louis, who is, with Robbie Avila having an unbelievable year again, scoring a ton of points. And of course, they just defeated VCU last time out.
Troutman able to get that one. These two teams cooking as of late from the field. They've both hit on their last 7 field goals combined in this contest. But for the moment, it's a 2-point lead. Off the miss, the rebound collected by the Patriots.
George Mason showed a 1-3-1 look, and VCU got it into the center, which is what you want to do, but that was a tough kind of in-betweener 2-point shot.
Ellington. Now Hill cut off at the free throw line by Djokovic. Ellington inside. Ellington. Good ball movement. Troutman open. No good. Tipped around and controlled by Terrence Hill Jr.
But it's great offense if you're George Mason. You got a deep touch in the post. It commanded a double team. You got a wide open 3 on the opposite side.
Lots of damage done in this game for VCU by their bench. 25 of the 33 points in this game scored by their bench as Hill hits the deck. And that'll be a foul against George Mason.
Adebayo just absolutely blew up Terrence Hill. Look at Dola Adebayo right here, just chucks him. And those are the type of fouls you can't really afford to have if you're a big guy, especially because it's leading to free throws here. As fun as it is, Derek, to chuck little guys out of the way.
Yeah.
You have to resist the temptation.
Hill good on the first.
Substitution. Entering the game for the Patriots, number 9,
Zivka back in the mix. Adebayo will head out. So Adebayo, part of a physical George Mason team, but heads to the bench to get a breather. And the once upon a time football star Hill drops in the free throw. It's a 4-point game at 35-31. VCU up.
Yeah, a lot of these VCU guys, it would be a scary secondary with their speed laterally and ability to guard.
Mincy, got a look, got a 3. Corey Mincy cuts it back to a 1-point game.
He's just one of the best shooters in the country, and he did a great job to relocate along the baseline and get himself open. 43% from downtown on the season.
VCU is led by as many as 5 in this game. As Jennings trying to create down low, backs it in. Good move by Brandon Jennings.
He was looking for the double team, it never came, and he was able to drop step back to his strong left hand.
Jennings averaging over 8 points per game, halfway to his average. With his team up by 3. Hill creating, Hill drops it in.
What a read right there by Fat Hill. You saw the whole left side was wide open. He refused the screen and got all the way to the front of the rim.
Djokovic, now Hill, contested 3, no good. Loose, Mincy and Jennings battling for the loose ball. It is off of Mincy. It will go back to VCU. Mincy wants a challenge here.
Yeah, we got our first finger swirl of the game, Derek. I mean, this is the new way. Ball's out of bounds. Corey Mincy all over it. He says, no way that's off him. And I think it's right off his left hand. So the coaches wisely are not listening when their players are doing the finger swirl.
Whenever you see that, you can see the coach's body language and face thinking like, you better be right.
Yeah, remember, if you use the challenge and you're wrong, you lose the timeout. So those are so valuable.
The Hill miss is gathered by Fat Hill. Mincy with under a minute left to go before halftime. Inside to Ellington, he gets the roll.
He's given him great minutes while Riley Allensbach's been on the bench big time. And right there, it's the first lead since 6-7-5.
George Mason back out in front by a point with 37 seconds left to go here in the first half. It's been an interesting first half with a little feeling out going on stylistically, but it seems like these two teams have found themselves in the late stages of the first half.
Yeah, and I think George Mason has done a great job with their game plan, running their half-court offense, a lot of duck-ins, a lot of deep touches down in the paint. Well, we got a good one here out of the A-10.
George Mason shooting 55% in this first half. They're up by 1. 1 point lead for George Mason, closing in on halftime here from Fairfax, Virginia. Derek Jones and Noah Savage with you. As VCU trying to solve one of the hottest teams in the nation in George Mason. Jennings finds Hill. Hill gonna have to make a move here quickly. 3 to shoot. Hill with the time running down, fumbled the ball out of bounds. George Mason will take it over.
Big time stop, and you see George Mason fired up. Coach Skins showed a 2-3 zone. He switched it to a man, and they were mismatched, but they just dug in and got the turnover against VCU.
Now a timeout will be called by George Mason. So they will talk things over with 7.5 seconds left.
There's a quick hitter time. Look for a long pass and either a kickback or a duck in. This is the type of stuff we saw them work on in practice yesterday. 10 seconds left or less, going full court and going into half court. But either way, George Mason has played great in this first half, and it's been really without Riley Allensbach, who may be the best 5-man arguably in the league. Now, you definitely have a lot of good 5-men, but they're doing this without, if not their best player, their second best player on the bench.
And another guy who's a physical presence down low, their leading rebounder, not having him out on the floor because of foul trouble, but they've been able to find their way to a lead here. 7.5 seconds left to go. Let's see what they have dialed up here on what could be the final possession.
Watch Ellington with the long pass and getting it back to Mincy.
Sivka in the Hill. 3 seconds for Hill. Turning, can't score, and that will cap the first half. George Mason leads it 38-37. When they lead at halftime this season, they are 10-0. Edge George Mason 24-14. The bench points, a main character in this game. 27 of the 37 points for VCU, points off the bench as they try to find their way back out in front in this contest. You know, we talk so much about free throw shooting. That really wasn't a significant factor in this game in the first half.
No, and you know, neither team really got to the free throw line, but to your point about VCU, they got their 5 starters play about 25 minutes a game, and then they have basically a second group of starters who play between 12 and 19 minutes a game, and that's another element that makes them so tough to defend, because that scouting report goes about 12 deep for VCU.
And that puts so much pressure on the opposing defense every time out. How do you match up with a team that is deep? Second half underway from Fairfax, Virginia. Jennings working against Long. In a little trouble, kicked it outside. Under 10 to shoot. Lewis working against Mincy. Tried to bank it in, but Djokovic is right there with the touch.
And it almost looked like he just wanted to get that up on the rim. Nick Lewis just flung it up there, and Lazar Djokovic was able to tap it in. Now look for them to get Allensbach involved early here.
2 fouls early on in the first half limited his productivity. Troutman looking for him, can't get him the ball. Long, high arcing three, missing the mark. And the loose ball off to Nick Lewis.
But Riley Allensbach commanded a little bit of a sag, and that's what got the open three right there, was just VCU worrying about him.
Jennings is fouled on the attack at the rim. It'll be Masai Troutman who picks up the foul.
And Coach Martelli told us Brandon Jennings is a stone cold winner. I was thinking about Cold Stone Creamery. I got mixed up there, but he's a stone cold winner. 8 points a game, lefty, a true point guard. And doesn't it just seem like VCU has an army of 6'3" to 6'8" lefties who can do a lot off the dribble? I mean, they have so much versatility and interchangeability.
It feels like it's the team going into the tool chest to grab something out of the toolkit.
Without a doubt. And the players live right near the practice facility and the gym they play in. So these guys go back in the gym late at night, early in the morning. They live in there working on their game.
And that's a part of the culture that Phil Martelli Jr. has enjoyed being a part of here for VCU. Rams up 3. Long. They work it around to Troutman. Can't drill the three, and the rebound taken away by the Rams. Lewis looking to push. Jennings open from deep. Got it. Brandon Jennings connects on the three, and the lead is at 6 for VCU.
It's not a good enough closeout there by George Mason. There's a little ticky-tack foul. But on the other end, you see George Mason's execution. Every time down the court, they're getting 3 sides, 4 sides. The ball moves 3 or 4 times before they even get into their set. And right here, yeah, all over his back is Brandon Jennings.
Let's see how George Mason handles this bit of adversity after leading by 1 at halftime, tagged with 7 straight points from VCU to open up play. Troutman with the dunk.
And what a pass by Riley Allensbach as Masai Troutman slipped the screen.
The corner three missed by Evans, tipped out of bounds, and let's see. They will say it will be Rams basketball. At least it appeared, but now they'll get together and talk about it.
Yeah, it looked like Djokovic went over the top and just smacked that thing out.
And it will be given to George Mason.
Yeah, we got it right. But if you're George Mason, so right here, look at it. Lazar Djokovic goes right over the top, and I think he just hits it out with his right hand. If you're George Mason, you've got a great shot every possession here in the second half, so don't worry if it went in or not. Keep running your stuff. Keep attacking the VCU defense. But watch how many times the ball changes sides of the floor.
Bensi trying to cross up Jennings. Presley going to work against Tracy. Gets the move and gets the bucket.
Malik Presley, big time fake in the middle and then step through to get a layup.
And Djokovic is hurt.
And Lewis just shot a ball that hit him. What is he thinking?
He got clipped there in the side of the head. After the first bucket of the game for Malik Presley. They'll take a look at Djokovic. We had a good discussion with Coach Martelli about Djokovic and some of the challenges he has faced throughout his collegiate career, and he has worked to get better in his time with VCU, and he has become one of their more valuable assets.
He had 17 against St. Louis, 6 straight double-figure scoring games, and he's had some great games. He's been incredibly efficient from the field as well. 23 against St. Bonaventure. Hopefully he's okay and can walk that off.
2-point game. Evans going at Alan Spock. Can't get it. Alan Spock had a crack at the rebound. Couldn't collect it. And it will stay with VCU.
And Barry Evans, the lefty, went with that right-handed floater. And Alan Spock did a good job to dissuade him, but needs to come up with that rebound with two hands.
Jennings looking. Distributes to Evans. Jennings to the rack. Banks it in. The lefty delivering to the cup. And a 4-point lead.
Just a gorgeous out-of-bounds underplay where they get Brandon Jennings off a curl where he can just take one dribble and get all the way there with the left hand.
Mincy dumps it down, and it's deflected, but Troutman able to get it, but a foul on the way. This will be against VCU.
You see again, George Mason getting to that two-man game where they move the D, they set up a two-man game, so it's really apparent where that help comes from, but when it's VCU helping, it's still tough. You got to hold on to the ball, and you got to really play tough. They're going to dig at you all night.
Hill picks up the foul. Mincy trying to spin off, launches, and he'll go to the line. Good work from Corey Mincy to head to the line here to try to cut into this deficit.
Yeah, he had to use that screen by fading into the baseline, and they went back in to Brandon Jennings. And Brandon Jennings has a little height on him at 6'4", but also incredibly long arms. So he is a really tough guy to score on one-on-one, and that's why Corey Mincy had to use that screen to free himself up.
Mincy good on the first. One of the hardest working players on this George Mason roster from East Point, Georgia. When he came out of high school, he was eventually able to make his way to Presbyterian. During his senior year, he picked up side jobs, which include working at the Airport Marriott in Atlanta. He also worked as a delivery man for Jimmy John's as well, all to help the family.
He's an incredible worker, and at practice, he was the loudest guy. He was the guy saying all the right things, leading, pointing, encouraging.
He's got the ball here. Mincy gives it up, though. Presley's three. Well off. Jennings tried to get it, couldn't. Long with it. Long to Alan Spock. Alan Spock floats with the right hand and hits.
It was a great play by Jahari Long to get on the ground and then not get tied up for the jump ball.
Hill behind the back dribble. Fade away. Just off the rim. Mincy saves it to Alan Spock. Tie game for the 6th time here today. George Mason will try to break it. Mincy can't hit the three.
And a rare transition attempt.
Jennings under duress. He's fouled.
Man, and VCU just keeps coming at you. It's rare you see a VCU guy just catch it and swing it. They try you and try you and try you again like body blows.
They're going to start cutting into that 15K. The fans will find him very quickly here after this game is over. What a moment. But back in action here, a tie game at 46. Derek Jones and Noah Savage with you from Eagle Bank Arena. George Mason has won 11 straight to open up the year here at home. Trying to keep it rolling. Shot clock to 7 for Lewis. Evans stripped, taken away. Good hands by Presley.
And smartly pulls it out to run some half-court offense. George Mason's been relying on their sets and their half-court to be in this game. They've done a great job getting open shots in this end.
Troutman checked by Michael Bell. Troutman goes by Bell. Good contest by Bell. He's got the ball to start up the transition. Lewis splits the defenders. Wild layup leads to a foul that will send Lewis to the free throw line.
And I thought he passed up a pretty good look at the three in transition. Instead, he attacked the middle and spun back to his right hand. And that's something George Mason worked on in shoot-around, is going and attacking those spin moves in the middle of the court. They attempted to attack it, but he pushed through and got the foul instead.
Lewis to try to break the tie. He cannot. 5 more games are on the ESPN schedule today. At 2, 6th-ranked Duke hosts number 24 SMU, followed by number 1 Arizona taking on TCU. At 6, 8 p.m. we'll have 15th-ranked Arkansas against Auburn, then 13th-ranked Alabama hosts Texas. And we end the night with number 9 BYU and Utah. A smorgasbord of college hoops activity.
And that SMU Duke game is going to be great. Not only Cam Boozer for Duke, but how about Boopy Miller for SMU? 21-7 a game, great point guard. And SMU's already beat North Carolina in ACC play. Oh,
what a move. Long can't finish it off, but Nanga thought he got fouled in the process there. Instead, it will stay with George Mason.
Emmanuel Conga cannot believe it off the rebound. Right here, let's take a look. Yeah, I mean, that's a foul all over his left wrist.
Inside, Conga and one. Emmanuel Conga at the strike as he restores the lead back to George Mason.
Out of bounds under his execution, so important to win games. And he got a second chance off the great design play. But watch his feet. I don't know, a little dance move underneath. Could have been a travel before the and one. But a breakdown of the VCU defense led to that layup.
4 for Conga today.
Conga, a recent A-10 Rookie of the Week.
But misses the free throw. The lead stays at 1. That was the lead for George Mason at halftime, 38-37, now 48-47.
Both teams got to continue to play with poise down the stretch. It feels like a game that may come down to one possession.
Noel trying to get by Sivka. Bell with 2 to shoot, launches and connects. Michael Bell out of London drills the jumper, a lead for VCU.
Great awareness to know the shot clock was going down, and he got to that spot from about 18.
Seven minutes in, half 2. And that's going to be a foul against Nick Lewis, and he can't believe it.
Yeah, he doesn't like the call, and he's sitting on the play. I mean, it was great scouting right here. Look, he's sitting right on Fat Hill coming off, and I thought he was there.
Yes.
That's his 3rd foul, and to me, you read the play, you're in position. You don't have to be set, you have to be in legal guarding position.
It looked like Hill may have extended that arm there, but it's a foul against Lewis. George Mason basketball. Hill back to it. Hill floating away from the rim, and 1 for Fat Hill.
There he is, number 5 in green. It's like an S on his chest, Fat Glizzy. He gets himself in a tight situation. Look at this, he's got nowhere to go. As Djokovic is reaching his arms out. Fadeaway layup with the right-footed right-hand delivery.
The transfer from Ball State. Bends and knees and connects on the free throw.
That's big, and now George Mason bringing a little delayed pressure, just trying to shorten the shot clock.
Bell. Now Hill, who's been quiet here in the second half, and the foul off the pass intended for Djokovic.
VCU just swinging it to the side, looking into Djokovic, swinging it back to the top, looking into Djokovic. So obviously they want to get him more involved down the stretch here because they're just looking to jam it in.
Corner three, Jennings, short. Rebound collected by the Patriots. Mincy on the move. Inside, Conga collects and scores.
Great rim run by Conga, and an even better pass by Corey Mincy.
Largest lead of the day for George Mason. Djokovic driving, stuffed by Conga, but a foul.
It usually goes right off the pump fake. He went left. And I don't know about that one. Conga looked like he got all ball up top. He may have got him with the body down below. And he is hot. I feel like it's going to be Indiana 42-24.
42.
Big blowout, like they blew out last night with a 56-22 score. Fernando Mendoza, the team of destiny. And I got to shout out my main man, Dave Leno, who does a great job play-by-play college basketball here at ESPN, a long-suffering Indiana alum.
Okay, all right. I will have to go with the Miami Hurricanes. Carson Beck has done an exceptional job leading this team as Djokovic is able to knock down the free throw to make it a 2-point game. I'm going to say 27-24 Canes. They're going to have to play ball control with Mark Fletcher. They're going to have to run the football well because that is a great offense for Indiana. Coverage beginning on Monday night at 7:30 on ESPN. Hill in the paint. Down to 5 for Alan Spock. And Alan Spock gets lost in the sauce in the paint. And it'll be a foul on Brandon Jennings.
And they got the switch they liked. Riley Alan Spock down low against Brandon Jennings. And he was doing his best to fight him and push him, but easy call there to the official.
It'll be a 1-and-1 here for Alan Spock. Gets the first.
So the rest of the way, George Mason needs to continue to jam it in on the drive and on the post. They're in the bonus the rest of the way. All those little pushes and shoves will be scoring opportunities.
Alan Spock transferring from Sanford. Of course, Bucky McMillan was a head coach at Sanford last year. He left Sanford to coach Texas A&M. And Alan Spock hitting the transfer portal, landing right here at George Mason. He's helped his team pick up a 4-point lead here. Djokovic working against Alan Spock. Nice move in the finish.
And right there you see they're sitting on his left shoulder. Great adjustment by Lazar Djokovic. He drop step back to the left hand. You see the gamesmanship in league play. Not only the scouting report, but you got to know your own scouting report and see where the easy opportunities are.
Hill working against Terrence Hill Jr. Lowered his head, and that's a walk. First turnover of the half committed by George Mason.
Yeah, just their 7th of the game. They've been really good taking care of the basketball. And that's not easy against VCU.
This VCU team was held to just 29% from the field in the loss to St. Louis on Wednesday. Bell underneath the rim had a tough layup attempt. He got fouled. Will go to the line.
Yeah, they're going back to the same play where they're trying to establish Djokovic on the block. They give it to him and he attacks middle, and right when he goes middle, Michael Bell slashing on the baseline. Great two-man game between the two bigs.
When you do research on this VCU team, a word you commonly see is rugged.
Right.
Describing the players here for this team, and that's a part of the style that Phil Martelli Jr. has ingrained into this team. Of course, as we know, that's a part of the history of VCU basketball.
Yeah, I would term it a little differently, where everybody with the ball is a threat. You never can relax for a second against VCU because they're always trying you out, trying to drive around you, trying to post you.
Still a one-point game. Mincy. Now Alan Spock. Sipka three. No good. Bell with a rebound.
Well, great patience. And again, Alan Spock not being greedy down there, involving the guards when he gets it on the post.
George Mason yet to hit a three here in this half. Evans can't hit from deep on his end.
Holding hands up the court. They wanted a foul.
Off the miss. Hill with the basketball. Hill got a step and gets two. And a timeout is called by VCU after they take the lead back.
And just a great move by Terrence Hill. You saw the gap to the left side, in and out cross. We got a good one here, partner. A-10. No joke here. Remember, they beat Michigan State, North Carolina, and top-ranked Connecticut. And really, it was the first run of a Cinderella, quote-unquote, in the modern era all the way to the Final Four. And, you know, that's something that you just never, ever forget as a team. And they got some great pictures in the lobby here at Eagle Bank Arena. They've really celebrated that team well and commemorated the 20th anniversary.
Of course, in that montage, you saw Al Horford looming in that picture. Of course, Florida went on to win the national title in 06. And then again in 07. A foul here against Brandon Jennings, and that is his fourth.
And he's got to be careful, and so does all VCU. These are scoring opportunities. Every time they reach, slap, or lose their discipline on the defensive end, they're setting up easy free throws for George Mason.
Now that picture we have talked about so much throughout the course of this game of free throw shooting, coming into focus a little bit. Long at the line, able to knock down that free throw, his first point of the day. Long gets a pair. The lead back to George Mason.
VCU going a little bit big here with Bell, Djokovic, and Evans all in the game.
Djokovic going in Allen's spot. Bell. Now Lewis. Floater up. No good. Tip, and Long able to get the loose ball.
Pretty good one-on-one move by Nick Lewis. A great one and done by George Mason to clean up the glass. We're going to throw it into Allenspach.
Long will go to the rim instead. Can't get the layup, but Allenspach is there with the tip.
They couldn't feed it in. He saw the lane to drive. And then Riley Allenspach relocated to the front of the rim to tip it in.
Djokovic. Now Hill. His three is up. That's no good. Troutman with a loose change. Hill to the rim. He gets blocked by Bell, but a foul is called on Michael Bell.
And that was almost a poster. Riley Allenspach camped in the paint to set a screen.
A peril of teams that did not make the playoffs. Unfortunately, Hill good on the first.
Well, let's take a look at this fast break here as Hill attacks. And it looks pretty clean from Michael Bell right there. It's a pretty good block. But I found when you go in to dunk it, you are rewarded most times by the official. If you go in strong, 9 times out of 10, they're going to give you that call.
George Mason now 12 of 14 from the line. 6 lead changes in this second half. There's been a tightly contested battle throughout. Hill, under 10 to shoot. Long three by Lewis. The miss taken by Fat Hill.
And right there, they got a three, but they really didn't get it off of any help or any rotations.
Three has been an area where George Mason has struggled. 0 for 6 in this second half. Long, pump fake, and the bucket against Bell.
Great move by Jahari Long. The two-man game on a cleared outside has been good to George Mason.
8 straight for the Patriots. The lob for Bell and a dunk.
Oh, man. Talk about execution. They run the chin cut, snap back to get a shooter a shot. George Mason guards it, and Djokovic slips to the middle, and he read that beautifully and put that ball where only Bell could get it.
Lead at 5. Alan Spock trying to post up against Djokovic. Now Alan Spock got to set the screen. Step back by Long. Money. They'll call it a 2, but they'll take a look at it at the next opportunity.
And he got to the step back, and he took his time once he created the space.
Djokovic. Good look down low, and Bell with another sledgehammer.
And how about the two-man game with Djokovic and Bell? The third time they've connected, and he's timed his cuts beautifully along the baseline. And it's been the vision of Djokovic, the namesake, passing.
5-point lead for George Mason. Alan Spock trying to get to the rim. The floater with the left hand, that's good.
There's just not that many guys in America who are that good with their offhand. It's the second time we've seen him go to the left and jump up.
Djokovic taking it all by himself with a layup.
The crowd wants to travel. Coach Martelli wanted the and one.
Long on the other end. That hits. Back and forth we go.
Right here, go right back to Djokovic.
Evans from deep. The high bounce into the hands of Fat Hill. George Mason has hit their last 5 shots. They lead it right now by 7. Long bumps off. Euro, got it. Largest lead of the game for George Mason. VCU calls timeout. They want to collect themselves. They're in trouble on the road at George Mason. Largest lead of the game for George Mason, up by 9 against VCU. 4:29 left to go from Eagle Bank Arena. Derek Jones and Noah Savage with you. Very interesting series history. George Mason has struggled mightily here against VCU in their building. They have not won here at home against VCU since February 24th, 2016. 7 straight wins for the Rams here at Eagle Bank Arena. Hill off the pop, misses the 3, and a loose ball foul. This will be against George Mason.
They got Riley Allensbach down low, boxing out Djokovic. And he's saying, I thought that's what I'm supposed to do. But George Mason's got this lead with 5 players in double figures. They've done a great job protecting the basketball. Just 1 turnover in the second half.
How about Jahari Long, 10 points. He has done most of his damage here in the second half. And one thing to keep in mind here for George Mason, they are 14-0 this season when leading with 5 minutes left to go. So this is right in their wheelhouse. They had the lead at halftime. They're 10-0 when they lead at halftime, but under 5 minutes, that's the sweet spot in particular for this Patriots team. We'll see if the Rams have a counter.
Yeah, it's the way they play where they protect the basketball. They use a lot of clock in the half court. They're tough to come back against, but VCU has never gone away this season. Even the games they were down big that they lost this season, they came back and tied.
Alan Spock. Hook shot, good. He's got the touchdown there in the paint, Noah.
Yeah, and he knows how to get to that right-handed jump hook all off the left shoulder.
Another solid outing from Riley Allensbach. He's got 16.
Someone's got to dig. Someone's got to make him uncomfortable.
That one trickles in.
The unorthodox delivery with the step through and almost like a shot put up to the rim. But it's tough because when they've doubled him, he's been great passing out of that.
Battle of the big men continuing on. Meanwhile, Hill lowering the shoulder, gets blocked there by Evans, and it can't be controlled by Sivka. Jennings outside. Djokovic lines up to three. Missed it. Good box out by the Patriots. That ball just dangling out there for somebody to take, but the Patriots did a phenomenal job holding position.
That looked like the drill they were doing yesterday in practice where Fat Hill was just moving out his competitor.
Mincy from the foul line. Got it. Corey Mincy, the A-10 leading scorer. Want some noise from the crowd here at Eagle Bank Arena. A timeout call with George Mason up by 9. 2:37 left to go. If you are looking for Georgia Southern and South Alabama, that game starting up on the ESPN app. Sean Kenny and John Williams with the call there. Nick Lewis hits the three. A big shot from Nick Lewis.
George Mason went to the 1-3-1 just to mix it up, and Nick Lewis knew exactly what to do, stepping into a three.
It gets the deficit down to 6.
Right here, look for George Mason to get to his side with a two-man game.
George Mason shooting nearly 60% in this second half. Long, who's had some moments here in the second half, will go to the line after he gets fouled with the shot clock winding down, and he can add to his total.
And you see the unselfishness of George Mason where Corey Mincy just hit a great shot and the boys, but instead of forcing something here on the side, he gives it up. Great isolation play on the side there as Jahari Long continues his great play.
And that foul is charged to Brandon Jennings. He has fouled out. So his 5th foul gives Phil Martelli Jr. a moment to regather his team here, down by 6, but the Patriots heading to the line with Jahari Long. Jennings will take a seat. He just got into foul trouble here in this second half, scored 7 points. And one of the on-floor leaders for this team heads to the bench.
They're deep. They go about 10 deep. They play a lot of guys in that 20 to 25-minute range. The VCU's got to have that next man up mentality, and they got to go under 2. They got to put together some scores here.
So Jennings fouls out with 11 points, and his team now down by 8, 77-69. Hill trying to combat Fat Hill, and it's a foul against Fat Hill with the block.
He's a little frustrated there as Hill was just kind of going nowhere. Terrence Hill here trying to just bring the ball across the court. Let's see if Fat Hill gets him. He gets him down low with his arm, so good call. But I think that Lazar Djokovic has got to touch it for VCU. Every time in the half court, he's got to get a touch. He's been so great passing the basketball, getting other guys involved. and creating a double team situation where George Mason has to play out of a closeout.
It really seems like in this game, that's when they're at their best.
Yeah, especially in the middle of the court, whether it's high post or down low, where you can just take the middle off the dribble.
Ahmad Noel in. Nick Lewis will head out. Sivka looking for help, goes to Hill. Pressure in the backcourt. Hill breaks through. Just over a minute left to go. George Mason trying to put this one in the driveway and in the park with a victory. Long, backing his man down, gets two. George Mason has hit on 9 of their last 10 shots from the field. 1 minute left. Evans. Now Djokovic. Djokovic to the rack. Wow! Lazar Djokovic silences Eagle Bank Arena. Oh.
And that's why number 17 White's got to get a touch. The pump fake up top and one. Big time delivery by Djokovic. Man, that is filthy.
And he gets the three-point play.
And perfect from the free throw line for the big fella. So that was a big score here. Cuts it to 5. No fouls to give either way.
Sivka, and he calls a timeout. Oh, he almost turned that over.
Well, he released the ball and caught it on the baseline and then said, no, call timeout. But if you're VCU and you're planning to foul here, you can play as physical as you want, because the worst that happens is that they go down and shoot free throws, is what you want to do anyway. So everybody on VCU is holding, grabbing, and if you're George Mason, you got to get open and you got to beat the ball with 2 hands.
Remember, coming up after this game, we will join Georgia Southern and South Alabama. Sean Kenny and John Williams on the call for that contest. But here, a 5-point lead for George Mason. 1 timeout left each way. Both teams in the bonus situation.
And a lot of times against pressure, the open area is at half court. And if you're the 3 or the 4 man for George Mason, you got to be ready to go get that ball. And the key is just catch it, be strong with it. They're going to come probably try to foul you, or at least go for a steal in an aggressive way. So you got to go get that ball, and it takes 5 guys to beat a press. You cannot hide, even if you're one of the big guys.
George Mason trying to hang on here to win their 7th game in a row. Up by 5. So they'll try to inbound it here.
So got Fat Hill inbounding the ball instead of Sivka.
Back over to Hill. Sivka. Now Long. Dempsey. 41 seconds left. Good ball movement here by the Patriots. And now Hill is fouled with 37.4 left to go. So they're able to drain some time off the clock. And they'll go back to the free throw line.
Where Fat Hill's a 70% free throw shooter, but when the ball went to Corey Mincy in the backcourt and then in the front court, VCU knows they can't foul him. He's a 93% free throw shooter. He's 5th in the country. And that shows you the gamesmanship and the intelligence of these two teams. They knew they couldn't give that foul till he gave it up.
Patriots 14 of 16 from the line in this game, make it 15 of 17. As Hill drops in the first. Hill, one of 5 players in double figures in this game for George Mason. Second one is good. 7-point lead.
Don't let him roll it up the court if you're George Mason here. And then be ready to switch.
Lewis on the drive, and he is fouled, and he is in pain.
That was number 5. That Hill, his 4th personal foul. It's the 10th team foul on the Patriots.
I mean, how about the lead by Fat Hill? And it was a great job by Nick Lewis. Look how he gets into Fat Hill's body here. He knows he's going to go for the block. He gets into him, draws the foul, and his hands came down on Nick Lewis's head. Yeah, they could look at this to be a potential flagrant. I mean, his hands came down in maybe an excessive way.
They will not, though, and that will be the 4th foul on Fat Hill. Nick Lewis at the stripe for 2. Gets the first. Lewis came into this game averaging just under 10 points per game, but he's been pretty quiet here offensively in this game.
Played at Gonzaga High School in D.C. Number 55 in the class of 2025 by 24/7 Sports.
Missed the second, and Hill is fouled. And with 28.2 left to go, Fat Hill can put this one further out of reach.
And he was 10 for 11 from the free throw line against Fordham. And he's looking comfortable. And these free throws in these types of situations are never easy, but as a player at home, they're a little bit easier.
Hill delivers on the first. One of the key reserves on this team. And Tony Skinn has leaned on Hill's play in this second half as he looks for a second free throw. His perfect day from the line continues. 8 of 8 from the charity stripe.
We got a lot of time here.
Lewis, step back, launches, and hits. Nick Lewis knocks it down from deep, and a timeout called by VCU and Phil Martelli Jr.
Another guy described as a stone-cold winner. Came into the game with 23-point makes, and he just seems to be getting better every game. He had 19 against Utah State. That was a career high. And right there, a big shot. But they're probably going to run out of time here. I mean, they need a little bit more time on the clock, or they need to come up with a couple steals. Because George Mason just has not cracked from that free throw line.
5-point lead here for George Mason.
But if you look ahead with the A-10 schedule, George Mason is going to get VCU again at VCU before they have a chance to play St. Louis. They only play St. Louis twice, not till March 7th. But this would be the best win of their season so far here against a very good VCU team.
No question about it. You know, going into this game, you look at the losses for VCU, they played a very tough schedule. On the side of George Mason, it's not that they haven't played a tough schedule. However, this is a big win for them if they're able to get it. One of the bigger wins of the season for them.
Yeah, no doubt. Not as tough a schedule, certainly, as VCU played at Utah State. NC State lost by 3 to New Mexico, but down the stretch here, they've done a good job meeting the basketball, being tough with it, and then knocking down free throws. And that man, Corey Mincy, has been a leader for George Mason.
Mincy, through his play, has really helped this team out. We were talking to Tony Skinn about communication, and he's one of the guys on this team that is a good communicator. Zivko looking for help, goes to Hill. 18 seconds left, and Hill is fouled. So Hill will go back to the line. And as the second half wore on, Noah, it just felt like George Mason got this game into their zone.
Yeah, and being up 1, with Riley Allensbach only playing 5 minutes in the first half. You knew they had that counter punch to Corey Mincy, who really hadn't played that much. And he made a big impact here in the second half. And it was a great battle between he and Lazar Djokovic.
Hill gets the first. For George Mason, their metrics, you know, certainly the free throw rate, one of the most impressive things about them, because that speaks to aggression in a lot of cases and their ability to get to the line.
Yeah, and their discipline. You know, Coach Skinn wants them to touch the paint, wants them to play physically down low, and that's what they've done here today.
They take good care of the basketball, which is always a signature of successful teams that are able to build this kind of record. They're not 15-1 by accident, and on their way potentially here to 16-1. Hill, off balance three, missing, collected by Lewis, gets the layup. 9.2 left to go. In the Mincy, he's fouled with 7.9 remaining. And Mincy sensing victory for his Patriots.
And they love it here at the Eagle Bank Arena. The hordes of the dance team, legions of cheerleaders, the band, who not only had a singer but two rappers. I mean, the atmosphere here has been sensational.
Never seen that before. They bring it here in terms of game day atmosphere at George Mason. The first is in for Mincy. That's one of the fun dynamics of college basketball, seeing the game day experience. They've got a pretty good handle on it here in Fairfax. The second from Mincy, that misses. Lewis with 6 seconds left. Lewis looking to push. Lewis throws it up. That's no good, and it is over. George Mason defeats VCU 86-80. They win their 7th game in a row, and they pick up their first home win against VCU since February 24th, 2016.